Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Powder Room. I'm Jess, and this is Sean.
Good morning. How you guys doing today? Today we have our special guest by the name of Cecile Edwards. She is a postpartum doula, also a mommy's coach, and we're going to discuss all the things that she contribute to the community. Hi, Cecile. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you all?
Good.
So I wanted to ask, what made you want to become a postpartum doula?
I became a postpartum doula because of my own personal process, I guess you could say, as a mother. I experienced some mental health challenges with depression and anxiety. And it was when my daughter was about 4 or 5 years old. However, I've come to learn through, taking coursework in maternal mental health and all of these things that, you can have something called prolonged or extended maternal or postpartum depression or something like that. I forgot the name of it right now. But if it is not treated during the time immediately after having your child, then it can extend, it can continue on untreated and then become worse and worse, right? So I experienced that. And, I started to learn more about the process of, what happens after having a baby and, just started asking questions and sort of building a community around these questions and finding the answers. And the answers for me were in wellness and holistic wellness. And I became certified through Madriella doula course in 2016. And yeah, that's the short end of the story, but yeah, that's that's how and why I became a postpartum doula. I was introduced to it by someone who was a postpartum doula as well, or who is a postpartum doula. She still is. And yeah, the rest is history, so to speak.
How would you describe some of the benefits of having a postpartum doula?
Oh, the benefits are endless. So basically, if I were to define a postpartum doula, I would say that she is like a mom's best friend, right? After having a baby, a well-informed friend, right? Yes. Who knows plenty about breastfeeding, who understands nutritional needs for moms, who may be able to guide and support you on understanding baby's cues. So being that kind of a support as well. But postpartum doulas have been shown, it's been proven that postpartum doulas, when mothers have them or families have them, there are fewer incidences of postpartum depression, and that moms are able to breastfeed longer. And so we know breastfeeding is great for the health of mom and baby, right? With the oxytocin and the bonding, but also the nutrition that babies receive as a result. So
Now what I wanted to ask, I'm gonna go back. You were talking about when you found out you were like having postpartum issues, and you were going into community and asking questions. By any chance, did you go to the doctor? Did they diagnose you, or did they give you any like type of coping skills to deal with your postpartum depression? Because there's moms out there that's probably going through the same thing and they need help.
So when I experienced so I came to know that I had this and was able to put a name on it. Now, again, once you put a name on things, you can look back and say to yourself, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what happened was I was working at this Mommy and Me program, right? And I just started feeling like this heaviness in my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack or something. And one of my coworkers was like, go to the doctor and, have the doctor write you some kind of script so that you can take some time off of work. You probably need to relax and take some time off, because I was working a lot too, and a single parent. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, you have severe anxiety and depression. And so she wrote me a script for some medication. I don't even know what it was, because I took it one time and I was like, this doesn't feel right. You know, like I know I didn't feel right before, but this definitely don't feel right. So that was the path for me to leading down to finding more holistic ways, right? And then I also went to, she also, I guess, prescribed for me to go to see a therapist, psychotherapist, and she ended up being actually an art therapist, which was great for me at the time. And so that, again, that led me into finding various ways. So this is how Mommy Evolve even developed, right? So I learned how to Mommy Evolve is my business, because I was looking for holistic ways. And so it started with, you know, being able to sleep, right?
Yes.
And, you know, I went through this process of trying different herbal remedies. So I tried 5-HTP, I tried St. John's wort. Those were the two that I started with. 5-HTP worked very well for me. And this was just through doing a simple like search, like reading some books, looking at Google, you know, those kinds of things, and just choosing what felt good to me to choose. I tried some other things that didn't work as well. You know, started, you know, being more consistent with changing up my diet and getting more sunshine and exercise and all of those things. And, you know, I ended up finding other herbs, many of which are adaptogens, and some of which are some that I recommend to postpartum clients now, such as lemon balm, nettle, you know, those things that are good for your overall system. Yeah. So your endocrine system in general. So I learned a lot about just the human body and what, you know, we need and how to deal with it through yoga, all of these things, massage, and just understanding the nervous system and understanding, you know, that I was doing a lot, and we tend to, as women, just have a lot on our plate in a day and in a week and in a month. And I don't think we realize it because we normalize it. And so it's just been that process. And so looking at women after they have babies, oftentimes, you know, especially when I was at the time when I, you know, had my daughter, you know, family leave was new, right? So before that, it's the statistics show us that women take an average of 10 days off after having a baby.
Yes.
10 days. That is absolutely not enough time to rest and recover. No way, no how.
And they show you in the
3 months that is given is not.
I think in the hospital was 2 to 3 days that they're in the hospital, not even longer than that. They out unless they had a C-section.
And these days, it's if you have a C-section. If you have a natural birth, you could be out the next day.
Right, it's quicker.
Right.
Wow.
So add to that our communities are set up in a way where we may not have the level of support that we need. Right. So I have a lot of people in my family. But if you choose to do things differently in terms of raising your children, then you have to deal with the the emotional roller coaster that may cause in terms of having to constantly defend your decisions and yourself and all of those other things. And so there's a lot of things that come along. And so I you know, postpartum doulas can provide that level of support and encouragement for families. So that emotional and physical recovery. If you have a C-section, for example, you know, ensuring that the bandages are changed and that there's nothing going on with that. Infant soothing skills, coping skills for parents, breastfeeding support, community resources. So what's out there? There's a lot in New Jersey, but a lot of families don't know what's there, right? And as a postpartum doula, I do take pride in knowing about a lot of the organizations and supports that are available, from the family resource centers to, you know, the different providers such as yourselves that can assist.
So I wanted to also, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I also wanted for you to describe the difference between a nanny, a postpartum doula, and an infant caregiver.
So yes, so there's postpartum doulas can encompass all of that, right? So I just described some of what a postpartum doula does, but you also have an infant care specialist. You also have a mother's helper and a nanny. And I have been not the infant care specialist, but I've been the other two.
Those.
So a mother's helper basically is basic. You know, you don't have to have knowledge about breastfeeding, none of that. You come, you support mom with keeping the house clean or keeping the things organized, cooking, you know, doing whatever things that a mom may need, just to have someone there to support and assist her. Infant care specialist focuses on the baby, and so different soothing techniques, doing different play activities with baby to stimulate their brain development, things like that. And a nanny, similar thing, right? The nanny is there for the child. The nanny usually is, you know, more, may have a degree, maybe an educator, for example, have an education background, that kind of thing, in early childhood education. And so they're really helping you to move the child on to another level, I guess you could say, and give you techniques and tips and tools. And postpartum doula can encompass all of those things. It just really depends on their level of training and experiences.
Now, what's a length in time that you would, you know, work with a client as a postpartum doula?
So for postpartum, it can be a year up to 2 years. Most people only do about 6 weeks to 3 months. And I say up to 2 years. Most people don't hear the up to 2 years, but that is still like, that's still a baby, right? So after 2, it's a toddler, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll get into the nanny stage, right? But, you know, mom is still healing up to 2 years. Studies have shown that it takes that amount of time for your body to completely heal and for you to really integrate a new family member into the family, both for dad as well. And postpartum doulas also support dads, right? Because dads do experience similar changes. Even though the mom has gone through a lot of the physical labor there, but dads can experience postpartum depression, can experience, you know, all of those things as well. So the support of a postpartum doula is really for the family.
And aside from like breastfeeding, because I know that some people breastfeed well beyond the 2 years that you mentioned, what are some other things that you're working on with those clients, that the ones, if you have, the ones that you're working with up until those 2 years?
So you may work on sleep routines, right? Also, postpartum doulas it's becoming very popular to have night nurses. So a lot of postpartum doulas do nighttime assistance, so that mom and dad can sleep, so that they can rest for a consistent number of hours. Because as we know, lack of sleep really is, I think that lack of sleep is what causes a lot of postpartum mood disorders, to be honest with you, because lack of sleep really impacts your mind and your body. And so, as we know, we joke and we laugh about families or moms not getting enough sleep. But honestly, it's not funny. It's really a dangerous thing for that level of lack of sleep and rest. And so that is a critical thing that postpartum doulas do. Even if they're there during the daytime, they may take baby and tell parents to go outside and go take a walk, or may go out and walk with the family, make sure they're getting some exercise. They're able to go to the store and just be free in the store, walk around Target or whatever, meal prep, do some housework, incorporating pets and older siblings if there are, right? Because sometimes parents have a fear of how the older siblings and or pets are going to respond to child. If you have the ability, I've done meditation with families to work on that, just having that those habits to keep your spiritual health consistent as well. But yeah, newborn care, learning how to swaddle. Some parents are very hesitant about swaddling or baby wearing. If you desire to do that, helping with car seat installation. There's a whole thing with car seat installation and ensuring that it is installed properly.
Right.
And you can either teach them yourselves, or I believe that, I know in my town, Sometimes the police stations and things like that, or different community centers will have demonstrations of that. So knowing of those things and sharing that with families is important as well.
So we also wanted to talk about your business, Mommy Evolve. You have maternal wellness event coming up May 14th. So we want a little spill on that, so everybody in the community know to come out and support you. So give a little spill to the community for us.
Yeah, so I'm very passionate about holistic wellness and really ensuring that moms have access to the various services that are out there for their wellness. And so, we go to the doctor. Yes, that's great. Go to the doctor. However, we have people like Shonda who do fertility massage. We have pelvic floor therapists. We have psychotherapists, therapists that deal with mood disorders specifically and assisting with that. Occupational therapists. We have, if you're into Reiki, if you're into yoga, all of those things are things that can assist in your wellness. And if you don't know about it and you can't try it, then you won't know what's going to be best for you. And so, this event is really bringing all of those together, in addition to other community resources, such as learning more about different classes, such as, there's a class that I took recently personally, and it is for the community. So moms were on the call, and other community members were on the call about baby cues. Like, what do the different cues that babies give you mean? And what is the science behind, the brain development and the bonding? And what can you do as a parent and as a community member? The Department of Labor has lots of information about family leave. Like, what is family leave? How do you use family leave? Not enough people in New Jersey are using family leave, right? So it's
not
talked about a lot. You don't know about it. Part of my role, one of my roles is, as a family leave leader, is getting more doulas knowledge about it so that they can share with their families. So all of that information is going to be there. We're going to have a panel, maybe 2 panels. I'm still working on the schedule because we have a lot of information, and there's going to be a tricky tray. So a lot of people from the community have donated their services and products for moms to assist in their overall wellness. And so it's going to be an absolutely great event. I absolutely cannot wait for it. And you can go to bit.ly/maternal holistic wellness day in order to grab your tickets, which are inexpensive, and you will be supporting more than you know with that. So, yeah.
And where's the time, location? I know it's May 14th.
So it's from 10 to 5. And it's in Edison, New Jersey at a cabin. It's called Kitty Keep Well Cabin in Roosevelt Park, which is right next to Menlo Park Mall, if you know New Jersey and Central New Jersey. Yeah.
I definitely be I will be there because I will be doing massages, and I have chair massage, and I'm also bringing a table for the moms that are pregnant, so you can get a little sample of a pregnancy massage.
Yes. So, yep. And I do events often. So, every month I try to do some kind of activity that we can do, whether it's online or it is in person. So, for example, on this past Sunday, I had the Mommy Friends Wellness Circle. So I do that once a month, where we come together and just talk about motherhood and, what we're doing to take care of ourselves and just holding each other accountable in that light and regard. So
that's good. That's wonderful. I like the one that you're going to have at the event is the financial wellness part.
Yes.
You were telling us about that, how they're going to teach you how to budget within your household.
Definitely. Yeah. Because we don't ever think about that as a budget item, right? Yeah. Our children, like, if you want to have kids, you can start saving for them. Why not? Yeah. if you have children, there's many things you can do to prepare them for college, or for life. It doesn't even have to, money, whatever you save doesn't even have to be for college, quite frankly, depending on what you use. So, I mean, just knowing information empowers you to make different choices, right? Can't say you don't know. As my mentor always says, if I tell you, then you can't say you don't know, right? So yeah.
Okay.
So give us some contact information so that if anyone's looking for your services, we can kind of share that with them as well.
Definitely, yeah. So the best way to contact me is either by email, which is momevolve@gmail.com, on Instagram at mommyevolve, or on Facebook by the same name, momevolve. So yeah, those are the best ways to connect with me. And from there, you'll be able to see my link tree, and the different services that I provide. So, or my website, www.mommyevolve.com.
And we would like for you to give us a positive information to the community.
So I'll say the same thing, that you're worthy of wellness, before, during, and after pregnancy. You're worthy of, financial wellness. You're worthy of support. Support is not a luxury. It is a necessity, including postpartum support, and birthing support, and wellness support. You're worthy of that. That is a standard that I would love to see, all women raise themselves to ensure that they're receiving, and men too, quite frankly.
Yes, as a whole.
Yep.
Well, we were happy to have you on. Thank you for your input to the community. And I will be there at the event, and we
I look
will
forward to it.
send everybody to the event, because this is very important for women to get out and get resources and meet different people and learn different things in our community. And Cecile, I want to say we're grateful that you are out there and you putting the word out there, and we're going to support you in every way.
It is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you well.
And
Yes.
here's the article, lady. She sent out them articles. Y'all better read them. I got to get on it. But thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
You take care.
Bye.